Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to give you a bit of insight on what I do when I draw my version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for my upcoming TMNT fan project. Today we will be looking at Leonardo. I came up with this design a few years ago and this is just how I've kind of been drawing the character by default. This isn't a 100% representation of what he looks like on the model sheet. I didn't pull that out for reference. This is just out of my head, just to give you a general idea, but hopefully one day I can dive deeper into these characters and how they are truly built from the ground up and how they will look fully in the series. So what I knew I wanted to go into with the art style for this show was very bold and thick outlines. It's something that you saw very reminiscent in early 2000s cartoons. That's what I grew up watching and loving. Everything on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney Channel used to use this thick, bold outline, which isn't that popular in a lot of cartoons that you see today. And there's nothing wrong with the art styles that you see in cartoons today, but I just wanted to pay my respects to what I grew up watching and what art styles really appealed to me and bring that back to life in the show. And I think that the thick outlines make the characters a lot more expressive and bold and pop off the screen kind of like a comic book character. So it's kind of paying respect to the original Morales comics that way as well. And it translates into a lot of my art, not just the TMNT, but I wanted to make sure that it was in this show specifically. And you will see that within this Leonardo drawing here. As you'll see when we dive into the other turtles down the road, each turtle has a different head shape. I wanted to make sure that the characters look distinct but still work together as a unit. So something that you saw very prevalent within the 2012 show and Rise, even more so, it started somewhere in the 2003 era where they tried to differentiate the turtles a bit more with different shades, and then 2012 pushed it a bit further with the different heights and head shapes, and then Rise went all out to make them as distinct as possible. So I wanted to do that as well, but kind of take things back to they're a bit more uniformed, but they definitely do have a silhouette that can stand out apart from each other based on their head shape. So here you see Leonardo has more of a squared off at the top and triangular at the bottom type of head. You'll see with Raphael, he has more rounded, jagged edges towards the back. He has more of a traditional Ninja Turtles look, kind of blending elements from the 80s and 2003 series in particular. Then, Donatello, he has the most rounded off edges. Michelangelo, he is built up by a lot of squares, bold lines and edges, and, just a wild shape that just comes together to bring forth this colorful character. But here for Leonardo in particular, I wanted to make sure that he had this nice edge to the character and made sure that that he means business. And I also wanted to make sure that the turtles had a more youthful look to them. I know that not a lot of people like to see the turtles in that fashion. They like to see them, bold and edgy and muscular. For my series, you will see them get to that point down the road, but right now, we are in the early part of their career. They are very young, and I wanted to display that youthfulness with the art style as well as my voice cast. I have been directing them to bring that youthful energy, so it only makes sense that the characters represent that in their looks as well. And I hope that it's presented well here in this drawing, and I hope that you guys like it. Like I said, if you like that more edgy look to the turtles, stay tuned. Get to see my turtles in that more rugged art style. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the boys and their youthfulness and in the early part of their career, because they have a lot to prove and you want to see them throughout their entire journey from the beginning. So make sure you stay tuned for everything that's soon to come with these guys. Initially I did have a lot more detail on the turtles. Funny enough, it's not very much shown in this drawing because it's just a bust of Leonardo. Down the road, I will start doing, full character sheets so that I can go in depth with these. This is just kind of a testing the waters for how these speed paint explanation videos for how my drawings go will be in the future. Hopefully it'll be a bit more organized down the road as well, but for now, this is just how it's going to be. But the final character designs have gloves and boots that a lot of people might say looks like Leonardo's design from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Funny enough, my turtles designs were done before the turtles were revealed for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So if anything, you could say that Rise borrowed from me. I'm totally kidding. They probably didn't do that. It is definitely a coincidence that it looks like that. I can pull up the record just in case you don't believe me. I can bring up some of the older stuff to prove that I had that style initially and Rise just happened to have the same one. Nobody ripped anyone off. I'm just saying it's a big coincidence. But even before the final design, there was even more detail on the characters. And as I learned when making the project, you don't want to have your characters have too much going on their character designs because you have to draw these characters over and over again during animation. So it became a very big task for me to have to redraw wraps and things of that nature, because I had all these bandages and belts and buckles on the turtles and their original designs that I made for the series, and it became very apparent that yeah, that's not gonna fly. So I had to redesign the characters and make sure that I made them uniform and clean and sleek and nice enough to be presentable and colorful and easy to read on screen, while also being simple enough for me to have to draw over and over again in multiple frames when you see them animated on screen. As I said again, I really hope that in the future, maybe even in next week's video when I have more time to plan and prepare for something like this, I can write out step by step how I go about this process. I can help you guys with any projects that you're working on and just show you the mindset that I have when I am bringing these turtles to life, because there's a lot to say and there's a lot to get you guys hyped to see that this show is standing on a pretty good foundation in terms of heart and thought that's going into it, and I want to make sure that it comes across nice and pretty for your eyeballs to witness. But for today, that's all I have, just a quick little bust drawing of Leonardo. But next go round, I'll have a little something extra, you know, I will dive deeper into these characters and their true designs and all that good stuff. But if you like this video, please leave it a like and share it around with your friends to let them know that this will be an ongoing thing. And make sure you comment down below if you want me to just draw any of your suggestions, if you have any characters from my TMNT series that you want to see. Do you want me to talk more in depth about the show and its story and how things are going to go down? If you want to see that, please comment down below and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. I've been Geekly, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.